Right, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we start, I would like just to mention that if you wish not to be recorded or photographed, you can always sit at the back and at the end, or maybe on the side. But anyways, you don't have to move a lot because most of you are sitting, at the back. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to our weekly student forum. Our session today is very special. It is jointly presented by our PhD students, Farouk and Samar. Today they will be sharing with us some insights from their PhD journey, and hopefully they will be sharing with us some tips and tricks that you can benefit from. You've got about 30 minutes to present, and we will leave or we'll take the questions and comments at the end of the session. The floor is all yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed, for the introduction. Thank you all for joining us today. Basically, it's not a formal session. What I understood that I would like to share our experience, the difficulties and the positive experience as well, what I have faced, and I have also contacted my cohort, my colleagues, and some of them also suggested some suggestions, which I will be sharing with you. So some of them, they were not able to join us today because of other commitments, work engagements, and so on. So let's have it. I don't want to make it a classroom, lecture. If you don't mind, you can stop me anytime, and if you need more clarifications, I will just quickly go through the journey that we have. The first thing that you apply at HBKU by submitting your proposals, you need to have a proposal, and you start developing that proposal. So an advice from my side is that if you are confident and sure of your topic of your research, try to keep it from the very beginning before applying, so you don't have to change. I have some colleagues that through mid second year, they had to change their topic and start all over again, which also bring difficulties later on for their publications or to catch up with the literature review or other steps. So if you are sure of your study, I would advise you to keep it with it. You can tweak it, of course, the title at the end, but at least you know the core of your research, that what you're gonna do in this 4 years of journey. And after that, we have 2 exams. I personally would not call them exams. It's more kind of feedback from experts from different colleges, because I didn't feel that I'm going to an exam. And as Dr. Ahmed mentioned, that there are tricks and advices. So the trick is that go always with the positive mindset. And whatever feedback you get, I mean, don't try to defense it. This is not defense of your proposal. So take their feedback and try to apply it or edit it in your research. A challenge what personally I faced, I mentioned it before, was the setup of the committee. So sometimes you have supervisor that in your CE, which is the candidates exam, the first exam, are not the same in the qualifying exam. So if one advisor wants, personally, I was asked to add private sector in my study. Then in the qualifying exam, when I added it, I was advised that I had too many theories to have to limit it down. So, but these are the things that you will get, the feedback that you will receive. Try to adopt it in the very beginning. Now, the first step is the candidacy exam is the literature review. So, qualifying. Okay, the QA and C. So the first is qualifying exam, which is literature review, basically. So you are just writing your on your topic of research, your literature review. What I did, from the very beginning, the same literature review that I had, it's now my chapter 1. So I'm not changing it. So that's an advice for you, that if you know your topic, try to be. And then I start already my submission. to a journal to publish it. From as soon I passed the QE, that's the final literature review, and you can actually publish a paper from it. So you don't have to wait for year 3 or year 4 and start looking for publications. Then when it comes to the proposal, the next stage, proposal is, since we had the initial proposal that we submitted, I actually used the same proposal, and I tried to work with my supervisor and produce it in more details based on the feedbacks. So another key thing, which is also a recommendation from some of my colleagues, is meeting with the supervisors. That's really very important, because one of my friends had challenged that he had his supervisor was basically questioning him in one of the exams, and he was surprised. He said, "You know my paper. We have been, and it was approved by you, and now you are questioning me within the committee." So it showed that that he was not, maybe there was not enough interactions or communication with the supervisor. So supervisor was not really sure about some of the elements, or maybe he had added them in a later stage, but there was no. It seems that there was no communication or regular communication. So if your supervisors are aware of your topic, they are there to support you, not to question you or make you or embarrass you. There's nothing like that. And one other thing when it comes with in the first year, I don't know if some of you are in the first year, where we have 4 core courses to take and 2 electives. I would advise you, if you have another passion. For example, I was working before in sports Olympic committee, and there was a program in College of Engineering, and I took the elective there. So I enjoyed going back to my own passion, and I was able to learn something more in sports management. So I would advise you that when there is an option for elective courses, you can do 2 elective. Yeah, Jamila, if the handbook is not updated, if there are no changes. So there are 2 electives and 4 core. So those 2, I would recommend you can take in within the QF. There's a possibility that you can take those electives in any other colleges. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I think until the stage right now I have covered all the journey, but inshallah next year, if there's more to share, I'm very happy to
have more obstacles or challenges as such. Yeah. Yes, please.
I would like to say something that I'm sure that Farouk and Samar will not say it, because they are so polite, so respected. I think in addition to what Farouk has said, it's always nice to have an amazing colleagues like Samar and Farouk. Always reach out to ask them some question that maybe the supervisors are always supportive, but I think having a great people like them, like they are senior to you or they are with you, it's always positive, and it's an add up. I was privileged enough to have them both in my journey, and we enjoyed it. In addition, also to what Farouk is saying, that and this is, we took something with Dr. Jazilia in our first classes. I came with the mindset, maybe from my masters, that this is your topic, always hide it, always do your research about it. But when you become a PhD student, you encourage your critical thinking. Your topic becomes more important than your name. Go to the people, ask them, share them your topic, hear from them, even if they don't have like a theoretical direction or whatever, but it's always a great to hear from them. So thank you, Farouk. Thank you, Samar.
Thank you, Mohammed. And really, yeah, that's a good point. And myself, really, Samar really helped. The first thing when I had the qualifying exam, I called, can you share with me your proposal? Can you share with me your literature review, how you did it? And as Mohammed said, it's really good to interact with each other. The more you share, the more stakeholders that we have within the university. I'm sure the faculty meet and they are aware of our topic. So, they can actually echo your topic and they can support it in in a positive way towards your journey. So if you guys have any questions or, yeah, I had one, I just remembered there was one recommendation from one of my colleagues about the first year classes. And maybe this is for you, that the first year class, we were together with master students. So, and masters and PhD students were there. So there were in few classes, the professors started, once you have completed your masters, you know how to write the capstone, have to do a research. But for them, they have to start from basic. So there was a recommendation from one of my colleagues that if it could be considered to have some, more advanced classes for the PhD students rather than starting with from the beginning.
I mean, are you talking about the core courses or the electives?
For the core courses.
Okay. Now, I think we always actually revamp our curriculum in order to reflect the latest developments in the fields. And as you know, our program is interdisciplinary, and this is a strength to our program. Your colleague actually mentioned, and she truly mentioned, that all of you actually come from different backgrounds and you come from different fields and expertise. And this actually would add, let's say, a strength to our program and will add to your own personal experience and fields of expertise. The more you interact with each other, the more knowledge and the more even techniques or technological, let's say, even methods could be adopted in your research. And this is extremely important. And starting from the first day you joined the program, we always encouraged you guys to interact with each other and try to meet regularly, brainstorming some ideas, even if these ideas are not directly related to your field, will definitely benefit, let's say, you at a personal level, and it might actually give you different perspectives related to your research. So this point, actually, we are aware of this point, and we are working constantly on, revamping our curriculum so that it yields the most or the best results possible.
I just wanted to mention another, a final trick. If you need to get your things done, there's a person in this room always on the phone, and she said that she is available. In my orientation, she said she's available 24/7.
After that, I changed my mind.
So probably she's answering some students' queries.
Yes, she is answering us. Yeah, she is.
So please reach out to her, but ahead of time, not after receiving that deadline. Then it becomes really difficult. So especially when applying to the courses, one of the I just remember. There was sometimes you have to edit the number of credit hours in the system. So if you don't do it ahead of time by consulting her, because it keeps changing and depends on different supervisors. Sometimes it's 3 hours or 6 or 9 hours. So you can actually edit it in the system. Please follow the handbook. And if you will not put the regular course hours, then you will not be able to complete. It will not be seen by the system that you have completed that course. So you might have to repeat again to get 6 hours if that's needed in one semester. And thank you, Jamila, for all your support. Yeah?
Thank you, Jamila. In addition for your scope, we are also becoming a therapist because hearing everybody giving you the feedback, please, Jamila. So thank you so much.
I think maybe you can combine all the PhD proposal that you have and do you can do a research, on those topics. Sorry. Any questions?
Farooq, I have a question. Thank you for coming to share your perspectives in summer. So we're in cohort 2, our second year, so we have our qualifying exams in November. If you could go back there just to maybe ease some of our growing anxieties, how do you best prepare for the qualifying exam? Did you feel you were prepared for what the examiners were going to ask you within your literature review? Just walk us through your experience with that.
Look, as I said during the exam, it's not an exam. basically it's a discussion.
Not for me. It was different during my days, so I'll share my experience.
That's what.
Your experience is different than our.
So every year it's getting better. So I'm sure your experience will be better than mine.
I swear you're lucky.
So your experience will be better than what I had. So in my exam, I think Dr. Amr was there in one of the panelists or chair, and it was really you have 10 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes. They are really keen on time, so do not cross the. You need to know that when to finish your presentation. If you still have some areas that you didn't cover, try to finish it before 15 minutes because they consider that as it is strict timing. Now, what you need to present, it's basically your topic, yeah. So I don't think there is a specific presentation format, but I don't mind sharing with you in my presentation if you want to look at it. How did I present it? Don't go. I mean, I'm sure you know about how to make a PowerPoint presentation. So you need to have a PowerPoint presentation. Don't put too much content into it because I always tell my colleagues that the PowerPoint slides are free. So you can just click on duplicate slide and have, rather than putting everything on one slide, you can just duplicate them and have as many slides as you can. So basically, you will be having, I don't know, there is a minimum of 30 to 50 articles. Yeah, there's a requirement that you 50, yeah. Yeah.
For us, it was for each topic 50 references.
Yeah.
We had two different topics that are not related to your dissertation. I'll share my experience.
So you had those 50, at least 50, or it can be more. Then you need to thoroughly read them, synthesize them, and write your critical systematic literature, like your critical response to that article, and advises that don't copy paste what is there written in the journal. They don't want to see the journal is written. Professors can read the journal, but what's your intake related to your topic from that that particular article that you are reading? So you need to critically analyze that article and write your one or I remember it's less than 10 sentences on each article that you need to write it. And one of the classes, I'm sure that in that you can actually finish this assignment. You have to create your bibliography, annotated bibliography. So I finished my part in that class actually. So half of one, we have to give, I remember 30 because in that class you need to prepare 30 articles for your annotated bibliography. So basically 30 are there, then you are left with 20. So the thing is that if you started from in a systematic way from day one, you can just, all those stages are adding up. So you don't need to worry about that, tomorrow or in November, now you have your exam and you need to have 70 articles. So if you have completed 30, you can use those 30. And I remember there's one of the classes of Dr. Mehdi, which is research methods. You would have to also have 20 articles there. So if you add them both, now there are 50. So just 20 more and then you are done. I hope I have answered your question, but if still you need something, please let me know. And I'm really happy to share my presentations with you. Have a look at it, and maybe you can ask other colleagues also to share their presentations to look at the format of the slide. And it depends only on you. I can have an image of, let's say, a bulb or a light and talk about it for 30 minutes. Or sometimes you have slides, there's content written, and then and advise don't read what is written on your slides because your audience, people can read it. You need to give your insights on the slide, because if I put a presentation here, I don't have to go and then audience can see what's your intake on those slides. So just try to be stick with the timing Another advice is practice. Practice it before at least a couple of times so you know where do you stop. And trick is there that once you have the monitor in front of you, once you go on the presentation, it shows you the timer in front of you. So you don't have to worry or someone else to tell you where to stop. So you can really use that. Another trick is the side notes. So if you want to remember something, instead of carrying the papers with you, I always use the slide notes. The professors cannot see it, that I have notes. And if you practice it, if you have good eye contact, you can still read your notes and they can't see that if you're reading. And I mean, if in PhD, if you're reading your notes, you can't remember all those statistics and details. I don't think that's an issue actually when you're presenting. So it's like make it as a storytelling. You know, you're just telling your story or whatever you read about your topic to an audience of 4 to 5 people. I mean, it's not something big, and you will really get feedback from them where you can always enhance your literature review.
Perhaps I just want to add a point on the qualifying exam now and the candidacy exam. Now, every year we conduct workshops on qualifying exams and candidacy exams, but unfortunately not all PhD students attended the workshops. And this is extremely important. Now, if you are not really aware of what is coming or what you are expecting in the qualifying exam or the candidacy exam, this actually would be a challenge for you. Now, when it comes to the qualifying exam, you are expected to write from 7,000 words to 10,000 words. It has changed now. It's much better now, I think, than before. The references, I think, from 50 to 70 references, annotated bibliography, but this is part of the independent doctoral study, which is in, I think, in the second semester, if I'm not mistaken, right? This actually would pave the way for your literature review. And when we talk about literature review, we are not talking about the whole literature review. Because we have, a specific word count, 7,000 to 10,000 words. Your literature review could be 2 chapters, for example. Could be 15, 20,000 words. So what we are asking for is part of your literature review, as long as it is coherent and well backed with relevant references. Okay.
Just again, building on what Farouk was saying, that we get the privilege during our studies, whether the core courses or the elective courses, to choose our own topics, that it goes with the subject or with the course. And because we are building an annotated bibliography, that it's linked to our study. So I try to play it smart, I try to choose a topic that even in your side assignments, that will build on your topic, so we can save those annotation for your study.
Well, it could be part of your dissertation.
Exactly. Again, it was a privilege to have Farouk, and he also asked him the same exact question: what do I need to do? And I think one of the most important tips that I get from Farouk, that they are not questioning you, they are questioning your topic. So it's instead of having one supervisor, it's considering to have like 4 or 5 double eyes to look into your project and to have a better outcome of it.
Definitely. Thank you.
Just another advice on keeping the track of your references. Now, you guys are lucky that you have a lot of AI tools available. Most of them are free you don't have to subscribe. What I use is Zotero. So from day one, if you read any article, just put it there, and it's really very easy at the end to create your bibliography, and it automatically checks your references. So you don't have to memorize the 7th edition of APA, which is this thick, yeah. So it really helps you to keep track of all of your references that you're reading. Just dump them there, and whenever you need, you can try to use that tool. It really helps you to keep a track of your articles that you have read, and it can create later on references in your paper as well.
Okay. Thanks so much for thanking appreciate it.
Hi,
I would like to ask you questions. Who's first year?
PhD.
PhD? Oh, there are
We have
master
masters, we have
students here?
all of them.
Ah, okay, who's master students? Okay, who's first year? PhD student. First semester as well. Who's second year? Scott, I know. Okay, perfect. So let me introduce myself. My name is Samar. I'm due to defend my dissertation, hopefully this semester. Inshallah. So, and it's my 5th year, so I'm starting with my 5th year. It is supposed to be 4 years, but it's a journey. It's a lifelong journey. So it could start with 3, it could finish at 7. Alhamdulillah, I was lucky to finish it at the 5th year. This is what I should say. To brief you, in 2004, I was doing my master's. I'm 43, so you can imagine the gap that I had between the master's and PhD. I was so obsessed at that time with the topic of Islamophobia, hijab in France. I speak French because I'm French educated and Lebanese. So I was so obsessed about this topic, and this was my topic during my master's degree. After 20 years almost, the topic was still there. Actually, it was more heated in terms of discussion, in terms of debate. So I decided to do my PhD for the same topic because it's my passion. Although I work for Teach for Qatar, which is an NGO specialized in education and in recruiting teachers, training teachers, place them in public schools. So it's a different mission. I started my PhD journey by applying for my proposal. I used a bit of my master's degree back 20 years back because it was still there, the topic itself. And then I received the letter without having a supervisor, by the way, assigned to my topic. They loved the topic, but they could not find a supervisor. This was my first semester. Back in the days, it was totally different than now. Now I can say you're privileged, you're lucky because the system keeps on, enhancing. The university is enhancing the system itself, enhancing the curriculum as well. Because when I started, we had 3 electives and we had 3 core, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. But the 3 electives you could choose. So at that time, we did not have the luxury of discussing as well with your supervisor, advising you on which topic you should choose, which course you should enroll in. But alhamdulillah, we were a group of friends and we are still. My cohort, and I believe we are the most cohort who meets, often, probably once a month, we share experiences. We have a group, especially the females, the ladies in the cohort. So this is something, by the way, I don't want to go outside the subject, but you will have friends for life with this program. I assure you that. So we did the first semester, we had the elective class, we used to study together, we had the research methods. Alhamdulillah, I picked the research methods because it was very helpful in paving the path on what you want to do. My topic was Islamophobia, okay? And I did my qualifying exam having this topic. Back in the days, we were supposed to present 2 different topics that are related to the broad topic, to Islamophobia, but not to your topic itself. So we had to present 2 different topics. It was an exam. Your supervisor cannot see whatsoever you wrote in the proposal or in the exam. You would go to I don't want to scare you, but now it's different. You would go to a committee. They will question a lot. So alhamdulillah, I passed the qualifying, but then there was a click. I was sitting with, now he's my supervisor. He was the PhD coordinator at that time. And he looked at me and he said, Samar, why do you want to do about Islamophobia and hijab in France? It's already saturé, it's already done. This topic has been used so many times. And you're so passionate about Teach for Qatar. Why don't you think about changing your topic? This was after my qualifying, huh? And then I went back home. In the morning, I sent him a message and they said, Dr. Mehdi, I want to change my topic. And I did. And I'm very lucky, I'm very happy. It was a very good moment, very good decision that I took. I changed my topic. And actually, between changing my topic and now, it's only like 4 semesters. I'm due to graduate soon. So it's always about finding your path and finding I don't want to say the market, but what the body of knowledge is in need. My topic now is about teachers' well-being or teachers' satisfaction, motivation in Qatar public schools, because this is something I am facing. We recruit teachers, we train them, and to see them placed in schools and then coming back to us frustrated, they're not happy, they're demotivated. And this is reflected as well on their students. This is an experience. So use whatever you have around you, this is an advice that I would give you. Use your life experience, your day-to-day. For the reason I've asked who's the first year was the most challenging. But I promise you, at the third semester onwards, the journey is very nice. And it is very nice from start. However, it's difficult because you have to come, attend classes. I'm a full-time job worker, but then I have my family, I have 2 kids. So I know the first semesters, 2 semesters could be challenging because of the time, because of the studying. I had to go back after 20 years, back to doing research and knowing how to look for resources. It was very difficult for me because back in 2004, I would go to the library to check magazines, Google sometimes for some articles, but it's not as it is now. So first year, it could be challenging for some, but believe me, the third semester is gonna be even better because you're doing your literature review on your topic. So this is very easy. You're prepared for your proposal. And then after your proposal, you're prepared to do your IRB. Once you have the IRB approval, it's a break, I promise. I finished the whole thing maybe in a year, although I had sequential explanatory. So I did 2 phases. I did qualitative and quantitative, and I had to finish the first one to do the second one. But it was worth it. It is a beautiful journey. Alhamdulillah. I remember when I joined the first online meeting, but it was COVID, Dr. Mehdi said it's a learning journey. And it is indeed a learning journey because you get to learn. I was now telling my colleagues, we had a retreat at work, that I remember every word said in an interview by a teacher. So you get to really attach to your topic, attach to what you're doing, and you get to be more convinced that this is the right place and this is the right thing I am doing right now. So believe in yourself. If you need any help, Dr. Mahdi, Dr. Amir, Jamila, I'm here. Anyone from the senior team, Farouk. So I don't know if most of the people here, probably Jamila, they have my proposal because I kept getting questions. Alhamdulillah, I kept getting messages from different students that I do not know asking me for the proposal. So I'll be more than happy to assist even with the IRB. And I'm sure Farouk is the same. And Dr. Amir is always here for support, Jamila as well. Enjoy the journey. It's a beautiful one. And you will have friends for life, as I said. Hopefully, some of my cohorts are, I think they're online as well. They're online, so enjoy it.
I would just like to add what Samar said about reaching out. Yeah, just a tip. If you have exam tomorrow, don't ask me tonight. Can you help me in making my presentation? So reach out beforehand. It will help you. So we can really help you. Sometimes if there are 10 students and the 10 will ask me to help them a night before, it will be really challenging to accommodate all there, because we're really happy to help. But it's better to. I don't believe in time management. Actually, I say it's managing yourself, because time clock is running. I can't make it 3 p.m. now, so I can't manage time. I have to manage myself. So try to manage yourself, as Samar mentioned, that we have families, commitments. I'm sure you also have friends, families, maybe those they are married, having kids. So a lot of responsibilities. In my own journey within the PhD, I was also at the Qatar Leadership Center. So in my second year, I completed my second master's while doing my PhD as well. So if you have a passion about doing something, it's not difficult. So it was just easy masters within completing my PhD. So start with really, just start early always, and try to really build the relationship with your supervisor. That's really important. And trust me, it's not an exam. The qualifying exam is not an exam. For me, it was. For you, it was, but for us,
for us, not for me, for us.
Yeah, I mean, for my cohort, really, it was really, and I was lucky to be in that committee, because the comments that I received, I was able to only enhance my paper, my own research. It's not something why you did this or why you don't do this, but of course you need to provide some justifications that why did you, let's say, why are you doing mixed methods, yeah? Or why are you doing only qualitative? You just need to have some kind of justification that why are you doing, that's what they want to understand. And I mean, these kind of questionings or questions that you might be asked in your paper. Okay, why, if you're doing something on private sector, why don't you think, or government sector, let's say, they will ask you why you didn't add private sector. So you need to have a good answer. And I believe there is nothing right and wrong in research.
I was the one who suggested the private sector.
No, it was not you. It was Dr. Marine.
Yeah.
So there is nothing right and wrong. It's just your confidence that you can defend what you're saying.
If you believe in it.
Yeah, if you believe in what you're doing, really, you can have so many arguments and so many different perspectives. Yeah, so it's not really always. I would say it's very subjective, and it's easy to defend if you really believe in it. You just need to convince the other person that this is the most important topic, and if you don't do it, you will not be able to save the world.
I want to add one thing. If you face an obstacle, reach out to the university. This is an advice. We faced the obstacle as a cohort for the qualifying. We reached out, and then there was a committee, and they enhanced the process. So the college or the university is always here to assist, not to put obstacles. So reach out to Dr. Amr, if he wants to, Jamila, but reach out to the university and provide constructive, feedback and recommendations, and I'm confident that they will work upon it. So never keep things inside or just discuss it with your colleagues. Just bring it up to the university's attention. Maybe they're not aware and they think everything's okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I just want to add, build on this. Now, Jamila is serving as the coordinator of the PhD program. I am the director of the PhD program. In addition to that, whatever suggestions we receive from students or any ideas you might think could be useful to the program, we take it to a PhD committee. And in this PhD committee, we have specialized members in that committee who would actually study these suggestions, look into other possibilities and other ways in order to enhance the output or the learning output of outcome, let's say the learning outcome of the program itself. So for example, if you approach us with a proposal and we think that this would be very useful and enhance the learning process, we will take it into consideration. We will discuss it, and if it's deemed as, let's say, a good suggestion, then we will implement it. Now, the same goes, for example, when you mentioned the qualifying exam, it used to be submitting 2 different papers. And these were actually supposed to be developed into 2 publications, right? Now, the story is different now. After we have received so many suggestions from students, I think Dr. Mahdi at that time, he took it into consideration and he presented that to the committee, and then they did some changes. The changes are supposed to be for the benefit of the program and for the benefit of our students. This literature review, for example, when it comes to the qualifying exam, will be part of your presentation. By doing that, you are not really wasting time and effort working on something, and then later on, it will not be used in your presentation. So it makes sense. And then after that, I just want to add that it is extremely important to consult with your supervisor all the time, even when it comes to the some details related to your submissions, to your oral presentation, or even to the candidacy exam. Because as Samar mentioned, she started with something with a specific topic, and then after that, after discussing this, the details of the topic with her supervisor, they decided to change the topic. It happens. As long as you do that before your candidacy exam, which takes place in the 4th semester, your PhD journey, then you should be okay. Once you defend your or pass your candidacy exam, then you will move to the residency period where you will be working with your supervisor on a topic. You will have the, let's say, all the time to research, let's say, different sections related to the different chapters of your dissertation. And hopefully by the end of your journey, you will submit your dissertation for defense. So it is extremely important to, as someone mentioned, to suggest any ideas you might see useful for the program and would enhance the learning outcome of our program. This is extremely important. Yes, perhaps we'll have a couple of maybe comments or questions.
Yes, I will make it
And
quick.
then we'll come back to it, sir.
Regarding the supervisors, maybe not all the supervisors will follow up with you regarding your topic, but based on my experience, and I'm sure also my colleagues are witnessing the same, that whenever you share with your supervisor, without asking them for the meeting, they are always positive, they are always there to support you. So it's an amazing privilege for the supervisor that we have here in the course. I just want to highlight. Thank you.
Dr. Amar, probably if we can have like working style where the student with the supervisor, they can agree on, the best practice for both of them. And let's meet, for example, bi-monthly, or let's, you have to submit this chapter by this time. So it's very good to see, the working style, because it's different from this supervisor to another. So this is.
Now, we have added something. I think we are working on like portfolio or dossier for each student. So each supervisor is requested to write a report or report the progress of the student by the end of the semester. And this would be very useful to keep up with the progress of the students. We have another question here. Yes?
I have a question to Samar. First of all, thank you so much for sharing your experience. You mentioned that it's your 5th year, right? So my question is, what was like the hardest challenge or obstruction that like contributed to your?
Unfortunately, my father passed away during a semester, so this was the reason. But I have colleagues now applying for the IRB, so from my cohort. So it depends, each one has a different experience. But I'll tell you something, they used to ask me, my friends, when do you have the time to study? I study at 11 p.m. and I finish at 3 a.m. every single night. And then I have to wake up at 6 to wake up the kids so they can go to school. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's a butterfly life, but you will enjoy it, I promise. And alhamdulillah, now I feel if I finish my dissertation, the second publication is on the way, and I feel like I was telling my husband the other day, I want to do something. I'm considering theology. And he was like, are you serious? I said, yes. But then after you finish, you feel, it was fine. It was actually easy. I wish I can do another one. So don't worry don't count the days, don't count the month. It's a learning journey. Believe it, it's a long learning journey. Enjoy it.
I think it depends on each of us learning styles. Yeah, I never had a similar experience as Samar, so I was trying to finish things during the class as much as possible, because most of the time we have professors will give you time to work on your own proposals. So there are some classes that you have that privilege. Try to use it. You can socialize in different timing, then you don't have to sacrifice your sleep.
It's stated on at the dissertation level, Farouk. So dissertation level is different because you need to.
Everyone, there are morning people, there are evening people, so it depends. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're, what's your learning style, but try to. Honestly speaking, the best advice is that start early. If you try to start from day one and keep building on it, it's always easier. But I was a student as well, but it's really difficult for us. We always wait for the deadline, and then tomorrow is the deadline. Okay, let me write the papers. So, and then we don't get.
Don't keep yourself until the last moment, please. I have a friend who's last moment, but she makes us all anxious around her. So do not do that, please.
One of the things I'm in second year, so last year we had advanced research methodologies with Dr. Mehdi and the seminar with Dr. Steve. What I found really helpful now in my second year is the amount of work that I put into my assignments in my first year, because now I'm going back to my theoretical framework. I'm going back to the methodology assignments, even though the first semester was very difficult. I found it very challenging, even though I take my studies very seriously, but it was a lot of work. Don't focus as much on the grade. It's hard. We're all obsessed with wanting to get an A and stuff like that. But the assignments that Dr. Mehdi had us do, I said to him one day, I've never thought as hard in my life, because you have to really change the way of thinking. So if he still has you do those assignments, my methodology and your theoretical framework, put the work into it in your first year, because it's making my second year so much easier. You know, you really take his feedback, and even though the course is over, go back to your supervisor. He's my supervisor, but go back to whoever your supervisor is with those assignments and the feedback that your course instructor has given you, to really finesse them. Don't leave it, because in second year, you're going to go back and want to look at those assignments. That's a tip that I have for you.
That's why I said about the working style. I would recommend in the first of the third semester to go to your supervisor and agree on a working style. How would you like us to meet? How often? What for? Agree with them. It's very helpful to know each other's, because your style could be different than his. So just find a common ground. One more thing,
Yeah, sure. I think I have 5 minutes. And then
I'm very sad that I don't know most of you. So, or I know only some. So it would be very beneficial if we can have like a gathering where everyone shows up, please, because we used to have that before, but only very few students would come. So it would be very beneficial to know each other, share experience as well. Similar to what Dr. Ahmed did today. Thank you for this session. So
Samar, invite us in Sharif, we will all show up.
huh?
Invite us in Sharif, we will show up.
The university pays for it. Probably.
I just want to add something, Dr. If you may allow. I just remember when it comes to the supervisors, we are lucky. I was lucky in my cohort that I have a supervisor, which is Dr. George Mitros from CHSS. And because my topic is on healthcare preparedness, emergency preparedness in health sector. So my second supervisor is Dr. Abdelatif Al-Khal, which is from HMC. Those that they were here in COVID, I'm sure you remember him.
Of course.
So, but it's not only those two supervisors. Actually, I really went to Dr. Mehdi, Dr. Stephen, Josia. So you have privilege. I mean, don't just strict yourself to those two guys. Reach out to other people. There are many professors from even different colleges, since my outcome will be a policy recommendation. So I reached out to the to College of Public Policy, and a professor really helped me or guided me from the beginning. And he was there in my candidacy exam. Okay, so it really helps you when people in the meeting room, and even at your work, you know, if you reach out to the stakeholders in the meeting and they shake hands with you, they like, you know, it adds value that they know your topic rather than questioning you, or maybe during the exam asking ChatGPT to give you some questions about this topic. They will already, you know, you have their buy-in in the exam. So to summarize it, it's just to reach out to even not to work with just your supervisor. Like if you have some difficulties in research methods, reach out to Dr. Mehdi. He's not my supervisor. I sent my paper to him to give me a review and his feedback, and thankfully he did. I mean, he's not my supervisor, but you know, the whole community here at CHSS or HBKU, they will always be happy to help you, but reach out to them, you know, just give them some time to help you, and they will be really, it will be very useful for your paper. Also, there is the writing center. So those of us, I mean, English is not most of us first language. So, and it's difficult when you have to write the academic writing. You know, there are certain guidelines that you need to follow with APA or certain. So reach out to the writing center. You can have one-to-one consultation from them. They will really review at your paper. They won't do it for you, but they will teach you how to do it and how to make it easier.
Sorry, Dr. Ahmed. I keep saying because I'm so hyped. I'm enjoying the journey. It's not easy, but I think also building on what my colleague is saying, It's the recognition that you're getting from the supervisor. I still remember the qualifying exam when they started shooting me with their questions. I was taking notes, and in a moment I thought, why I'm taking notes? I'm not going to continue. The way that I'm getting those questions, but I still keep remembering what Farouk and Samar was telling me. They are challenging your critical thinking. Nothing is personal. If you know the style of the qualifying exam, you present, they ask you a question, and then you have to leave the room. They make their mind, and then you come back to the room, and they tell you your result. When I came back, and myself, I thought that I was failing there because their question was really hard. It wasn't easy, and all of them stood, and I felt like, because they felt so sorry for me, they wanted me to fail in a very respectful way, but no, they congratulate me and they start shaking hands with me. It's a moment that I will never forget. I'm still way ahead from graduating, but this moment exactly I will never forget. That was an amazing. So more harder it gets, the more recognition and proud you will be, even if you are still in the middle of the journey.
I agree. Right, guys, I'm afraid that we have to conclude this session. I would like to thank our presenters, Farouk and Samar, for the informative presentation and for the tips and tricks that you have shared with us. I'm sure that our students will benefit from that, and I hope that we will be inspiring our MA students maybe to think about, joining our PhD program in the future. I also would like to thank the audience for attending this session, and I hope that I will see you again next week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.